What grounding really is feeling and seeing the real world around you, kind of like, instead of being caught up in stress feelings, overwhelm, anxiety, worry, those kind of feelings, which are valid and you can validate. It's okay to feel those things, but if you want to kind of regulate your nervous system, the grounding techniques that you can do anytime: breathing, taking a deep breath, and then looking around the room, naming things that you see. You could pick a color and name, like, okay, what's blue in this room? Oh, I see a grocery bag over there that's blue. This little instrument that I gave my kids, little drum, is blue. I've got a blue party hat over there. There's a blue table over there. So like a blue chair. It connects you with the world around you to get you out of your own head. And then you can do things that you can touch. And I want to touch my fuzzy microphone cover, but it's going to make a lot of noise. But that would be nice to touch. Like, even if you're wearing something soft, you could just like be more mindful and feel that fabric and give yourself a pet. And that's nice too. Give yourself a little hug. I know this helps a lot of people feel more grounded too. Just breathing. And I like to try to relax my face just to feel more at peace. You could even feel your hair. You could feel, I've got my water bottle. I could just like feel that. It's just bringing me back to the present moment. Things I can smell. I don't know if there's anything good smelling around me right now. I think there might be a lotion or something. So I could do that. I could go outside and just breathe a breath of fresh air. So things like that. Just your senses, engaging your senses with the world around you. And slowing down and doing that will really bring you back to the present moment and hopefully help you realize that whatever's going on in your mind can be slowed down, and it's not, maybe you'll realize it's not as urgent as it might feel, or it's not as big of a problem as maybe your body was wanting you to think. So just slowing down, getting connected, maybe even if you are feeling way off, taking a walk outside, taking a shower, petting a pet, giving a hug from a friend or a partner, things like that, to engage in the world around you again. Hey, what's up? Callie here. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're not. I will be talking to you about grounding techniques, or how I get myself centered, and one of those ways is drawing on my iPad, Photoshop. Ooh, puppy. And so I'm going to teach you how I draw an eye. So if you don't want to draw an eye, if you don't have this program, just grab whatever you have, and you can even use an adult coloring book, like, that's interesting if that works for you, or doodling is totally acceptable, and we'll just draw together. That's one of my favorite things to do to center myself and get out of my own head. So maybe it'll work for you too. So let's do it. I change brushes because most of the time when I'm doing this eye, I'm using a soft brush, but I'm using the pen kind of brush for this first part because I'm drawing. So I draw the eyeball, so just a circle, and inside I do the iris and the pupil. And then I layer the lids over that eyeball circle, and it's so that I can see the shape of the eye. And there's like a depth to it, so I can tell that this is a ball inside of an eye socket. Because one of the drawing classes I learned the most from was figure drawing, and just that all the different parts of our anatomy and trying to get that underlying skeletal structure and that underlying muscle, things like that. But showing that on the surface gives it a lot more depth. So then I just do a really rough sketch, as you see, and then I'm putting in some skin tone around the eye and playing with the size of my brush constantly, playing with, you know, dark, light. It's so easy to go back and forth, and even the style of brush, I'm going back here to, excuse me, the softer brush, so it's like blending easily, you know. So, and I even shade, so to give more depth to the eye, I'm using gray to show some shadow. It looks terrible now because I'm just getting into that, but the more I kind of layer back and forth, the more depth it gets. And like toward the end, you'll see the eye, the white of the eye starts to get like glossy looking. It's got that real like eye look to it. And then I'm just coloring in the darkest tone of the iris all over the circle, not worrying about the pupil. And then with Photoshop, I can go in and create I can make a circle selection, so that dotted line in the circle. And so I just fill that with the dark blue, and then I have a lighter blue in the middle, because I know that for lighter eyes, there's the outside the outside edge is darker than the inside. And especially my eyes, I think this whole thing, I was trying to sort of get my green eyes, which are actually, you can see kind of like yellow tones toward my pupil and blue tones toward the outside. And they kind of blend together. And I do have some green tones too, so I've kind of a different makeup for my eyes. And you can see me like here and there, just erasing, like getting rid of stuff, like, I didn't like any of those grays, so I just get rid of it. So this process is just a lot of erase, putting back in. So now I'm looking at like the inner lid, that shelf, but like where, you know, your inside lid, that, and I'll be distinguishing that from the lash line and like the shadow underneath there. And that's like a give and take. I just go in and out, like I said before. I played with that a lot on my first attempt. This, what you're seeing right now, is I'm doing for the benefit of showing you, because I guess I didn't record my screen when I was doing the first one, but I recorded after it was already established. So I did this one as like the very intro, the beginning, and how to actually draw it and get it all there on the page. So going back in with shadows right under the top lash line and around like the curves of the eyes and things like that. I still haven't put my pupil in, but I will. I'm going to end up using the same marquee tool, that little circle selection, to make my pupil so it's a good size, it's in the middle, all of those things. So you can see how I start to get really into this and kind of lost in it, and it's just fun. So if I didn't have Photoshop and the Apple Pencil, because I don't think I could do this on my computer, Photoshop, That's why I love having the iPad with the pencil. I would just do this on paper and I would have a lot of fun. I used to draw eyes all the time, like in high school, when I'm sitting in class, and just beyond that. I've always loved drawing portraits and people, and eyes were just something I was fascinated by and wanted to draw all the time. So I would just doodle an eye anytime I got the chance. So if I were, you know, if you don't have the digital art stuff and maybe you have a different program than Photoshop, which is great too, I would just grab a pencil, piece of paper, and if you want to play with color, of course, go for it. So, and if you don't feel like drawing an eye again, just do whatever you feel. And it's just an instinctual thing. Like, I did not look at a photo. I did not look at a photo. I just went back and forth into this eye. But I have been drawing them forever. So I have a lot of experience drawing them. But I was fascinated with these close-up, really microscopic close-ups of like all the muscles inside of the color of the eye, like really close-up photographs of eyes and all those like muscles and what they look like branching out from, you know, the middle of the eye and things like that, and the dilated pupil, and it's just really cool to me. So I do start playing with that. Other ways I ground myself, simple ways, I've been trying to shout out to Andrew Huberman and all of his, he's a neuroscientist at Stanford University and has his own lab, and he's a professor there, I believe. And he talks about the importance of getting morning light, like the morning sunlight. And I try to find it if I can here in Pittsburgh. If it's not too cloudy, we have a great view of the sunrise out of our bedroom window. And I usually have the blinds closed so it doesn't blind us in the morning, but I get up early enough with the kids that I can look out there, and through my closet actually I can see the sunrise, and out of this door I can see it, so it's all facing this way, and I can see the sunrise and the beautiful colors when it's clearer days. And so that's a new habit that just feels nice to feel connected with, you know, the rhythms of the day first thing. So that's been a newer thing for me, and trying to just get outside. That's like the biggest thing, getting outside no matter what the capacity. Hiking with my family, hiking with my dog, so much fun. So that's another thing I love to do, and I do take my dog hiking at least once a week. And that's been great. Exercising is not, I can't call it a habit yet, but I think the best thing is to keep myself going. I need a friend to do it with. I guess I don't need, but I am so much more likely to do it with a friend. And luckily, my friend Erin, shout out to Erin, she has been coming over and doing YouTube videos. She's got Peloton, so she'll log into that and we'll do like whatever 20-30 minute workout. So that's been really good. But that accountability is so crucial. And I mean, grounding can be the simplest things, like when it's warmer outside for us, like here in this region, I'll stick my bare feet, walk around barefoot in the grass and just feel grounded that way. Even just showering or bathing. We have a hot tub. We're lucky enough to have a hot tub. So that's really helpful too for grounding. Any sort of like washing. with water, just that really brings me back down and helps my headaches. I've learned if I have a headache and I either take a nap or a shower, that's like the best medicine. And so hiking, exercising, stretching. I do love yoga, so stretching helps so much. Of course, drawing, art making, things like that, where my thoughts kind of dissipate and I become part of the process. Like it just, I feel very connected to the process, and then my thoughts kind of level out and stabilize and they're not so negative. So that's really helpful to me because my brain wants to just like blah, 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 and it wants to tell me negative things sometimes. I mean, a lot of times I feel like that's just kind of how a lot of humans are, and you have to kind of retrain your neural pathways into different patterns of thinking because it becomes habit so easily. Anyway, so grounding, what else? So yeah, those are my big ones, like hiking, just being outside, like literally getting up and stretching a little bit. I like to put on music and dance around, sing. We have Bluetooth like a little Bluetooth speaker in the kitchen, and I even put one just recently. We got one that's waterproof, and I had it in the shower. It's just fun to listen to uplifting music. And so anyway, that's really helpful for me too. Petting my doggy, that's a good one. I really love petting him and snuggling. He's a very snuggly guy. So petting him really helps me feel more grounded, because what grounding really is feeling and seeing the real ways of the eye with the green. And I go in and out and in and out, and you'll see that's just me being lost and caught up in the drawing. So don't feel like that has to be your process. I feel like I make things last forever because I didn't want it to stop. I was really enjoying the process, so that's what I was doing. So let me know if you have other thoughts about grounding techniques. I actually made a little art poster, and it's the succulents in my background. I don't know if you've noticed that, like in the beginning and end of my videos, that was from a grounding, in kind of an infographic that I made with succulents, because I thought about succulents when I thought about grounding. So I'll share that too. I'll share that in the note or in the description, and you can even purchase it if you want. So a print of that. So anyway, let me know if you have more grounding techniques that you personally like to use, or that you'd like to start using, things that help center you, and that could be anything. I'd love to hear from you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, give me a like, subscribe, and I'll be back next month with something brand new. Bye. See you later.